Hello. My name is Isabela Santana. I am producer at the A Day on Earth film. I'm also an artist, an actress of theater and film. And I'm very happy to start this Earth Day conversation
Recording
with
in
two
progress.
with two of our filmmakers, Vonley Smith and Whitney Snow, and also Nanang, our editor. Before starting anything, we want to bring a music from Vonley. Um, I wanted to first invite Vonley to talk about a little bit about this music, and then after the song, we will um, Vonley.
Hello, good day. Happy Earth Day, everybody. Um,
Day.
yes, nice to see you guys, and it's good to be here on this beautiful day. And as Isabella said, I'll be opening the vibes for today by sharing a piece of music that I did. It's actually a cover for a song called Shinra Shirlala's theme from a really popular RPG game called Chrono Trigger. And the song is titled No More Sad Days, and this is the first time I'll be sharing my voice in a very unique way with you guys, and it will tie back into our discussion and everything. So without further ado, enjoy. Ah, 出るの待せれば夢るなすりぱてのか離れないもうそれだすりせのまれるな世界をせれないのめでたかやめのすりさせのでならないのうればくりねのまでるな All right. So thank you guys for listening. Happy Earth Day. as my present for all of you, everybody, on this beautiful day.
Amazing, Vonley. That's really the best way to start this conversation. Feeling this song. Thanks for sharing with us. Um, yeah, thank you. I'm feeling calmer now. Thank you. Um, so, in order to start talking a little bit about this experience on being filmmakers, being artists, being editors, and the relationship with the earth and how this is related to the work that we do in literally everything that we do. Um, I wanted to share a little bit about our movie. For people who are here and doesn't know about the movie, just to share a little bit, the film A Day on Earth was filmed on April 22nd last year. Um, and it contains 76 filmmakers from all over the world, from the five continents, who film their days, everything in 24 hours in a single day. Um, and it contains Afro-descendant, indigenous, local community filmmakers, and Vonley is one of them, Whitney is one of them. Nanang is also a filmmaker. He also participated as a filmmaker, and he is the editor. And we want to talk in this Earth Day about the experience of the film, but really understanding that the film is just a reflection about the real life that you guys live. So the first question I want to bring to you guys is when you guys were invited to film your day in a single day, um, like even before like planning, what were your thoughts? Like when you received the idea of, oh, let me film the whole day of my life. How do you like imagine, oh, okay, how will I capture my daily life with the land? How will I capture my relationship with the land? So I wanted to know what were your first thoughts when you woke up and thought like, okay, I will film my day.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. Yes, when I first got the message, it was really interesting, you know. I was in the process of doing a feature film of my own, and when I got the message, I was like, wow, this is a really amazing opportunity. And I really wanted to participate, be a part of everything. And um, during that process, I was scheduled to do a tour um, in a place in Trinidad, because I was based in Trinidad at the time. Alabre is a pitch lake. It's the world's largest natural asphalt deposit. It's spanning like 100 acres and is reaching about 250 feet deep. So I said, well, this will be a really good opportunity to like, you know, showing a life, showing my like me going there and just showing me on the tour and everything. Unfortunately, so much different things happen, like, you know, in film. It wasn't the the most easiest of shoots, but it was really, really spiritual and meant a lot to me being on that such ancient land. And I reflected a lot, you know, on Earth Day and really the planet that we live in and where I was in Trinidad, you know, we have a lot of like natural resources and stuff on around the world, and it made me very, you know, conscious of, you know, how these resources used and what they're used for, and just my relationship with it. So, I kind of went for a more experimental, avant-garde kind of vibe while explaining and giving my side. It was a really busy day, guys. It was a really busy day. However, it was very magical, it was very spiritual. It really put me in a zone to really reflect and just give thanks and the gratitude of just being here and just being on this marvelous rock, space rock that's just going through space, you know. So Yeah, I was really grateful for the opportunity. It was a challenge. I love challenges. I ran into a lot of different issues on the day. I guess I'll talk about that a little later, but it was beautiful experience for me, man.
I'll go next. So when the project idea was introduced to me, uh, same sentiments. I thought it was really interesting. I had never heard of a collaborative project such as this before. So I was really excited to be a part of it. However, uh, I was kind of aware that I was one of the only ones uh, to participate in the United States. And in my mind, I was a little nervous about that because I knew that my footage was up against a lot of tropical footage and really nice beach scenes, rainforests, just all these beautiful places. And where I live, April is very the weather can be really really nice, or it can be super snowy, it can be windy, and you never know until you wake up that morning. And I was really excited until I woke up that morning to film, and it was all of the weather you could have in one day. It started off good, it started off nice, and then it got windy, and then it got cloudy, and then it snowed a little bit. There was some rain. It was everything you could experience in one day. And that made me nervous to submit my footage. And I almost didn't, honestly, because I thought that it wasn't up to par to the other footage that was going to be included in the documentary. But it turned out that my footage was well received by the team, and has so far been well received by people who have viewed the film. So it helped me to realize that I do have a story here to tell, and people want to see the authenticity of where I live. And it doesn't have to be green and beautiful and tropical in order to be a good story. So it gave me a good confidence boost when I work on my other projects from here on out. And it helped me to look at the finer details of where I live. I have a lot of beautiful landscape I can photograph, but I really had to get down and figure out where can I go where I won't get wind on the microphone, or things like that. So ended up being a really good day. I captured a lot of wildlife footage, and I thought that was great. It's almost as if the wildlife knew I was filming that day and just decided to be out. And I have had a great experience working on this documentary since uh, its first inception a year ago. And I'm really grateful for the opportunities and the reach that it has given me and everyone else that has worked on this film. And I'm really excited to see how far it goes this coming year.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So yeah, when actually I'm not set myself filming on the 22nd last years because when I introduced the project was the I was set my brain as the editors. So it was the I was on the one an assignment for another project in the Central Java. It was the beautiful forest. I'm filming the Javan gibbons, one of the rarest ja gibbons in Java, the endangered species. But uh, I was filming the beautiful gibbons in the previous day. It was the last day. I should be return home on the 22nd, and I decided in the morning, so let's shoot for the day. And then, but we don't get the gibbons. So it's just unlucky. This is Paul was expecting, where's the gibbon? Where's the gibbon? There's no gibbons today. The gibbon's gone. We don't know where they hide. So yeah, that's kind of filming, the wildlife filming. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. And yeah. But the thing is, the project is very unique to me now. Is that when I start editing everything, so it's an amazing project. So it's very different approach from the film that I worked before. That's maybe my experience.
Amazing. So yeah, I was thinking here, for each one, Whitney mentioned that, and Nanning also mentioned about the gibbons, for example, and Whitney mentioned about the weather. And I was here thinking that the earth speaks differently in each place in the world, right? Um, I am Patashaw, for example. My people live in the bush, but there's also some people from the community that live near the beaches. And but I am in the city, so it's another relationship with the big city as an indigenous person. And I wanted to ask you guys, in which way do you guys think the earth speaks differently in the region and thinking about the relationship with you have with the earth? And I also wanted to invite you guys that through talking about your region, also present yourselves, what you do, because we didn't have this time to start presenting yourself. So talk about your lands, and how do you think your lands speak difference, and also about the work that you guys have been doing, please.
So my name is Vonley, for everybody, Vonley Smith. I'm born on the island of Barbados. The indigenous name for it is called Irichi Ruganaim. It's island of White Tooth. And my father is from another island in the Caribbean called St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the indigenous name for that is called Hairuna, Land of the Blessed. And my mother is from Trinidad and Tobago. And the indigenous name for Trinidad and Tobago is called Kayari, Land of the Hummingbird. So I give this introduction so look, you guys could have a little bit of background and just also share and remember the name of the indigenous, the name of the land, before colonization and everything. And yeah, I'm a bit of a mix up in my region because in the Caribbean, like Whitney, I sort of felt I was kind of I was based in Trinidad and I was filming Trinidad, and I'm not from Trinidad, but my mother's from Trinidad, but I still like have family and everything there. So I was like I was like, I wanted to represent it well and I wanted to showcase or film somewhere that the world could be invited to and like to see. Um, I've been doing film for the last 20 years. I've been only doing short films, short 48-hour films, short films, just talking about different societal issues within my community. Um, and I started my first feature film in 2020. That's actually I actually met If Not Us Then Who at a film market at the Berlinale. So it's really interesting to see how far you guys have come. I've been talking to Paul Redmond. Shout out to Paul. Shout out to your shell. Big up to you guys. I've been in conversation with them for a while, and to see the vision and everything comes forward. It's really beautiful to me to see. I've been working on my film for the last 6 years. I'm now in the process of post-production. It was a very long journey, and the film is titled Voto, Voice of the Ocean, and is a multifaceted documentary, having poetic documentary, cinema verite is just kind of multifaceted. So that's a little bit of what I've been working on, and I'm now in the end process of that. And as it relates to the relationship that I have with the land, each part of where my parents where I identify with in the Caribbean comes from is separate, is different, you know? Trinidad is a place that is so vibrant with its music and its nature and everything. And it invented the steel pan and they have a lot of music and stuff. And Barbados is, you know, known for its pristine beaches and really nice people and just vibes. And Vincy's a different is a different energy because there's a volcano, an active volcano there, and it actually erupted in 2021, and the ash spread, and it you know it helps fertilize the entire Caribbean, and it goes all over the world. So I look at all of these places so like differently, and I hold it very close to my heart, and I could only really describe it in terms of like energy. And Barbados is a very calming, relaxing space. That's why a lot of tourists people come there to relax and and Trinidad, it has a pulse, it has an energy, it has a beat, a vibrancy in the people, the rhythm, and natural wonders like what you guys will see in the film, the elaborate pitch lake, the ground moving, natural asphalt just coming out of the ground, being used to like make roads all over the world. And St. Vincent just has that blend of just like truly stuck in time with nature and how the different liberty of how the people live with the land there. But it's also like a, a, a nice, energy pulse. So I to the relationship I have and how I see it, it really is just something that I don't see myself without or being not being conscious of. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
So I'm Whitney, and I come from the Blackfeet Nation in Montana, Montana, USA. And our original name, we call ourselves the Pekuni, which means the holy people. And the whole base of our experience as Pekuni is we believe that the sun creates everything. So the sun is very important to us. Um, where we live on the edge of Glacier National Park. If anyone's familiar with the national park system in the United States, we live on the east side of Glacier National Park, which the mountains were our original territory. But there are many, many layers to colonization and things that we don't have time to discuss here. But before it was a national park, that was our homelands. We called it the backbone of the world. We believed that we originated from these mountains. And we also understood that the water that flows from our land flows into uh, multiple oceans in the United States. We have a unique mountain system that we call a triple divide. And if you were to drop water from this point, it would flow into the Pacific Ocean, into the Gulf of Mexico, and also into the Hudson's Bay in Canada, in the Arctic. So we understood early on that where we live is very detrimental for the health of not just us, but the rest of the continent. And we knew this before it was officially documented by scientists in the 1800s. So when people visit this land to visit the national park, it comes with a sense of peace, a sense of relaxation, and people travel thousands of miles to come here. People spend thousands of dollars to come here just to get a glimpse of our mountains and our water and our animals. And living here, it's easy to sometimes forget how lucky we are because we have so much layered history here with our traditional history, the colonization, the boarding schools, all the negatives and all the positive. So personally, when I see people visit the land here, it helps me to appreciate it a little more, to see people look at these mountains that I get to see every day and just be in awe of it. And for the Pekani, we have always been taught that we are not separate from the earth. We are not separate from the animals, the plants, even the weather, even the rain, the snow, the water, all the elements. We're all one, and we can all work together to have a harmonious relationship. And this comes down to our language. Our language is based on these beliefs. And so that's why it's important to revitalize our language and keep that original language so that we're able to hold on to these traditional beliefs. And we try to pass these down to our youth as much as we can. It's getting harder and harder because a lot of our elders who have this knowledge are passing away. So for me personally, when I'm mainly a photographer, I do cinematography here and there, like I did with this documentary. But I try to incorporate a lot of audio into my photography to try and record with permission stories and languages that our elders, that we need to pass down. And I want to document it correctly. I don't want there to be any room for error. And I want this to be part of my process. And so I try to respectfully incorporate this in a way that's not exploitive to the people, to my community, but it is still there for the youth and the next generation to be able to have and to learn from. And we just have so much just old history here. I I just it's hard to explain. I love traveling, but I always want to come back. I always miss the mountains. Even sometimes I miss the wind. Even when I get sick of it, I'll leave and then I'm like, oh, I really want some wind or rain or something. So, it's yeah, we're deeply, deeply rooted here. We're deeply rooted here, and there's a lot of environmental issues that are happening. There's a lot of political issues that are happening in the world right now, in the United States right now. And so I want my work and my stories to be positive. I feel like there's a lot of negativity right now in media, and I just want to show the positive side of my community. I don't want to show the poverty. I don't want to show any of that negative, right? So that's just kind of like a way that I try to keep myself grounded in this space. And I also want it to be a blueprint for anyone else in my community who looks at my work and decides I want to be a documentary photographer or a documentary filmmaker. And I just want to show that there are ways that we can have a positive message even in the midst of all the negativity. And that's all I got to say about that right now.
Yeah, let's me introduce me myself to them. So yeah, I'm Nanang Sujana. I'm from Rejang tribes in western coast of Sumatra. So my tribes was I was born in a very small village in Sumatra, but now I live in the city, like in Jakarta and in Bogor. So I I don't have much story that I can tell about my land because I was grow in the I was grow in the forest with my moms. I was planting the rice and hunting and do all that forest stuff in when I was kid. But yeah, I think I feel like more. I don't have much connection anymore since then. It's about with my land is. And yeah, and then but in the last 20 years, 20, 22 years, just I was filming around Indonesia the with the many communities, indigenous community all over Indonesia. But I start with the campaign films. I start with the investigation. I start with the about the environmental destructions, and we try to use a film to expose the environmental crime, expose the what happened with the indigenous community in uh, when the corporation come, or when the logging company comes and like that. But just like more than 10 years I do that, and then it's kind of really a bit what bit like a depressed myself with the whole negative story in that is. So, and then I start filming last 5 years, start filming more on the wildlife films, start to enjoy more of the other side of the nature is. So I film a lot on like the orangutan, the elephants, and then last time, and then yeah, I mean that's with this project, and then feel different ways to see a film is. So a different what try to like to appreciate the the way of telling the stories. So that's changed me a bit in the last 1 years of working on this project. Make me a bit so much relaxed to thinking more, to appreciate a little frame by frames. So not that tense with the whole the what bad thing happens in here. I just discussed last 3 days, 2 days ago with the one old friends from Papua. Then I said we've been made a lot of film about the deforestation in Papua. We've made a lot of investigation, exposed many things there, but deforestation still keep going, and then I don't know what's gonna happen if we don't make this. It is slower, but still lot of work to do with the. But we believe that with the storytelling, with the films, that we can change something in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. Nanang, I actually have a question for you as an editor in the film. Um, because each one of us were mentioning a little bit about our relationship with the land, our nation, and also about things that our ancestors um, shared with us or left with us. Like Whitney was mentioned about the importance of the sun, and you mentioned about how we should protect the land, and how logging and the big companies, and how what everything that is happening in our lands, and how that also affects our people, our community, our emotional health, ourselves physically. And you were editing the 24-hour footage from 76 filmmakers. And I wanted to know from you in this process if you found like something in common, like an ancestral thread that connected everything. Even a small gesture, like, oh, the way people touch the soil, the way people talk about the land, or even the struggles, like everyone is passing for a struggle. And I wanted to know if you could find like something common that connected everyone in the movie.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm not expecting to cut the feature doc on this project. It was I'm thinking, oh, all right, we can, maybe it's only like a 30-minute films or something like that. And then when we see a lot of surprise when footage coming, we start still so many surprise. Some, or this is good. With something in common, that's the story is that um how I mean the human story everywhere in the world is that it's like see the what I like is really see a lot of filming. It's very intimate filming. Here is like a father filming a son, son filming the filming like a brother filming brothers, like a mother filming the daughters. I see how we depends our I mean how our relationship is the same all over Indonesia, all over the world with the earth, the earth is. See how we respect waters everywhere. It's like there's we respect the soil, the land is, and then that's what I really what appreciate on it. So yeah, and editing this is a bit what I like to in the editor uh, is you I need to we need to like cut only the footage. We don't have the pickup shot. So I was working with the other feature doc before. It's like a kind of Hollywood things. I had and it's like 8 years, 8 year like 8 years filming feature doc. Now also in the in like a competition, the same festival too. So I mean, we keep doing like a lot of pickup shot, but this a day on Earth, we just edit what we have. So we explore how the creativity is to to bring the story's flow. That's maybe that way I can say what the unique on this project is.
Thank you, Nanang. It's interesting. Like you could really see. Oh, from my region, everyone is connected from different places, right? As you could see in Indonesia, for example, and it's very interesting because we are all connected in even this most simple and small gesture as indigenous peoples because we have a relationship with the land and the way we see the land, even if it's different ways to see the land. It's a vision of love, and that really connect us. That relationship of love that we have for the land. I wanted to ask also Vonley and Whitney about this experience of putting the earth as a protagonist of the film, because the main idea of the film was us as land defenders or through our relationship with the land show our perspectives, because we all know that people come to our lands or to the villages and they film and they share their perspectives as outsiders most of the time, and the idea was like us telling our own story and um, sharing the experience that we have with our lands, our territories. um, and I wanted to ask you guys if during the filming, if you could remember of a moment that you felt that the earth or the land responded, even if it was a wind blow or a leaf that fell or an animal that passed. I wanted to know about this relationship of the conversation with the land in the filming process. If you guys have something to share about that only, right?
Yeah, well, I guess well my experience was really unique, in the sense that being on an actual pitch lake, I don't know if I could give you guys like a visual, but imagine being on sand, but like this like soft earth, and if you stand like, and the sand is like quicksand, so your feet will, like, if you stand on it, you would be sinking lower and lower. I asked some of the local tour guys and everything there if if someone was to stay there, would you go like down into the earth? And they said you would sink, but it wouldn't you wouldn't actually like go down because of there's a water thing. I don't know the science behind it. However, just being there, being on that land that actually was moving, having my feet on it, just kind of maneuvering, really just connected me back to, my ancestors, people of the land, and just the earth itself, And I am curious to Nara because I'm an editor as well. And for this, I didn't shoot, like if you're an editor, you kind of shoot how you would put it in the edit. Like this was not that. This was like I was on moving earth and I had to try to get the shot. It was a lot of energy. Because it was so hot and it was so humid, the camera batteries were dying really quickly. And I had a portable charger to charge it, but the portable charger was getting the surface was so hot that the battery died as well. So it was just a hassle. Um, Whitney, I understand what you mean about like the wind. I was concerned about how the wind coming through the mic. So I was just like, yo, the editor they have for this is gonna be I'm sorry. But it was something that was just really special to me, and to be doing that on Earth Day, and to be sharing that with the world and telling the story. And then just because I was in the process of my own film as well, so I was it was just a lot of reflection, and like look, and now it's like a year ago. uh, man, uh, yeah, so the story, that's pretty much it, filming while the land was actually moving, like you were sinking, and it was just really different for me, man.
So my experience, when I felt that the earth was responding, it was about the end of the day. I felt like I had gotten all that I could have filmed, but I don't know, it felt like something was missing. So I drove out by myself to a lake that's on our property, and it's a really old ancient lake. We don't allow any hunting out there. We don't allow any bird hunting, deer hunting. We do run cattle out there, but we do that to practice rotational grazing to keep the grass lush. And I drove out there. I took uh, some time lapse of the clouds coming in. There was a lot of birds out there. I started photographing the birds, just watching, not really waiting for anything, but I kind of felt like I was waiting for something. It's the only way I can explain it. And I was sitting in my car and I look out my window and there's two antelope that come by really, really close to my vehicle. And it was a couple, and they were walking in front of me and they got really, really close. So I slowly got out of my car. I had my long lens and I was standing there in the wind and I was really trying to get everything, nice and straight and perfect and not shaky. And the wind was blowing, so my nose was running. So on camera, I could hear myself just sniffing my nose the whole time. But the reason I tell that story is because the antelope for this area have not been seen for a few years, like almost a decade. And so when I saw the antelope on our land at the lake, that signaled to me, okay, whatever we're doing here is working because these antelope have found a reason to come back to this area now where they have been absent for a long time. And now a year later, we see herds of them everywhere, all the way almost to the mountains. So that tells me that we're doing good work here as a community. These antelope are finding a reason to come back and to flourish here. And I kind of feel like I got a little glimpse of that reintroduction, and I got it on camera for this documentary. And it really made me feel good about what I was doing, the work I was doing, the message I was trying to put out there. And it couldn't have come at a better time, because even after I got all of this footage from the day, I still felt like my footage was inferior. I just, and when I saw those antelope, I felt really happy about it. And it's one of our holy animals that we give offerings to, and we pray to for good travels and things. So it was a really neat experience, and I was trying to be respectful, keep my distance, but allow them to get as close as they wanted to. And so I think the antelope were used in the documentary as some B-roll type footage, and that's that was a good way to end the day for me.
Amazing. Yeah, it's interesting because throughout the process last year when people were filming in April 22nd, um, many came to us like, "Oh, but today is rainy. I won't be able to film because it's not the best day. Like, can I wait for the best day to do that?" And no, we said no. The idea is like all of us to film in the same day to show the difference and the reality. Like it's really based in real time and reality. That's the proposal of this film. And you guys had your experiences, right? I'm only say, oh, it was a very busy day. Many things happened. And you talking about the antelope and then about like the gibbons are not showing. So let's do without them. And that's it. That's the reality. And this is how the land is. We, in the city, we can like control stuff. We think we can actually control time, control space, control our homes, and in nature, things doesn't work like this. There are the surprises, just like life. We create this idea that we have control over the things, and that's not real. And throughout the process, we are finishing our conversation here. I also want to open for questions, but I have one last questions for you guys. If you have something to share about it, what are you guys expecting for people to get out from what have been shared in the movie, like their people to learn or to take to their homes, even if it's a gesture that they learn, because the film is going out to the world next year in April in 2027. And I wanted to hear a little bit about your expectations for the audience.
I'll go first. Um, my expectation for the audience is to see an authentic view of different communities, different indigenous communities, and the things that we do to honor the earth, to take care of our land. Because this documentary and what drew me to being a part of it was how, not just how unique it is, but how very unplanned it was. And when I say unplanned, I just mean like there's no structured shooting, there's no schedule, there isn't, like you said, it's all done in one day. That's it. We were given the opportunity to use whatever cameras we had. We could use our phones, we could use photography, we could use cinema cameras if we had them. And so to me, that makes it feel more authentic in the way of how our stories are being represented. There's nothing that is being manipulated. And so I feel like this gives people an opportunity to see a documentary that, we're so used to seeing all these beautiful documentaries, and I'm not discrediting the work at all in any way. I mean, I know those take years and years of planning to get the right footage and, the editing and things like that. I've worked on documentaries before, and it takes a long time to get to that point. But I just mean that with this one specifically, I hope that it gives the audience some type of reaction of like, oh wow, you know, this is really authentic. This is really coming from the heart of the filmmakers and the people in the community that are being uh, shown in this film, and also to ask questions, to want to know more about these communities. Which filmmaker stood out to you, and what community stood out to you? How can I learn more? And I would like it to be a springboard for the 76 filmmakers to have an opportunity to share more about their work and their community and their stories, and that people around the world have a sense of curiosity to want to know more about this. So that's what I hope, you know, that's what I envision, that it helps all of us. And yeah.
Um, yeah, well, I think I see this film as a very deep one, you know. It's a very deep film, it's very deep past a lot of the layers and everything. I mean, making a film, you know, requires a lot different things, and it's, you know, it's the aesthetic side of film, and as Whitney was saying, you know, different footage and stuff. However, you know, I think what was really beautiful is that everybody went out there on a day that we could celebrate Earth. You know, we all have birthdays, we all have different things that we celebrate, but not only did we celebrate Earth Day, we actually went out and we created, we did something, we did action, you know, and then we were a part of a community of everybody around the world doing it, you know, and just kind of like, I think that's really, really noble, and is a lot of honor in that. And even just like looking at it even deeper, you know, as Narang, like he sat down and he edit all these different footage and everything together. But you know, we gotta be real. Like a camera is just a mirror, and it's just mirroring a reality. And then we're taking that and putting it on a timeline, and you have to edit that. So essentially, we're like documenting our archiving time. You know, that's what it was really about. We kind of put a time capsule on our day, on a special day where we are conscious enough to create on this, on that day. And you know, we put it out there, and I think just the energy of that, just the combined sheer raw intention of that it is gonna do well, is gonna do good, you know. Yes, it would be great for it to open doors and and continue the conversations and everything. But I just feel like the fact that we did something in a moment in time in 2025, right? Let me not my years these years, 2025. That's beautiful, you know. And I think the expectation is beyond, you know. We've already we everybody put their part and was a part of the process in some way. And I think as creators, as people who are in tune with the land and everything, I feel like having this perfection complex, or putting out stuff that, you know, is always a battle of what you put out and when and stuff. I just think that action speaks always louder than words, and the fact that we could channel that action with our intention is amazing. So big up to everybody. Big up to everyone on the live, the attendees, everybody, the editor, Paul, Rochelle, Isabella. Like, really, really good job. And I look forward to seeing what happens in the future. Look forward to learning more and connecting more, and you know, and just being a part of a community of individuals that, you know, are connected and deeper, you know, it's deeper, and really have the honor for the thing, you know. So yeah.
To me, is what I really expect in the audience will be is I hope this film can inspire more to how we telling a story is a lot of simple story in our life that we need to appreciate. You don't need to like keep looking for a heroic story or something great story is, but story of our life is the is amazing story. So that's and then we can do it on the simple ways of telling the story is, I mean, not too complicated filming, not that with the big crew and everything. You can tell your own story. I really hope that could be inspires many other storyteller out there, like yeah, youth filmmakers or youth indigenous filmmakers could do more, continue this initiative in the future.
Thank you, Whitney, Vonley, Nanang, everyone who showed up in our webinar, in our conversation, Voices from the Earth, Earth Day conversation. I deeply thank you for your presence. Thank all the attendees from different parts of the world. Also, we are from different parts of the world. It's really nighttime for Nanning. It's like morning time for me. Different time zones here. I wanted to know if there's any question from the attendees or anything they want to ask us. Okay. I will just share here, invite everyone to get to know our websites, get to know a little bit about the work we are doing. If you haven't had the opportunity to follow our Instagram too, we are building our Instagram community too. So in our website, you can get to know a little bit about the filmmakers. You can find a little bit about each one of the filmmakers. We will also be posting videos. Same for the Instagram. So we want to invite everyone to get to know a little bit about our website and the work that we'll be doing, because we are preparing the ground for our showing out to the world in 2027. So yeah, deep thank you for all of you guys, for all the attendees, and see you soon. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, guys.
Happy Earth
Bye.
Day. Bye
Have a
bye.
Thank
good
you.
day.
Guys,
Happy
happy
Earth
Earth Day,
Day.
everybody.
Thank you. Bye
Blessings.
bye.
I want to show not only Indigenous youth, but youth everywhere that you can do whatever you set your mind to if you put your heart to it. If you put the work, if you manifest it and see yourself there, at the end of it, see yourself working every day and doing everything that you can, then you can achieve anything. I want to prove people and prove to myself I took life for granted for so long, and I regret that. Because this place and everything it has to offer is beautiful. Woo!